Hello everyone, this is Matthew once again, and finally, at long last, I'm going to review a movie that came out on June 12th, 2015, that was able to make back its $150 million budget by making $652.2 million in the United box office while making $1.6 billion worldwide, and that is, my friends, the one and only Jurassic World, the fourth installment of the Jurassic Park franchise. And yes, I know that Jurassic World came out, which, in fact, I have gone to see it, which it came out on July 7th, 2018, which I know came out last month in June. So I was, well, kind of like to see it when it first came out. But so this will be like a late review of this movie of Fallen Kingdom, as we're about to be out of July now, and we're about to enter August. So I'm about to review this movie, Jurassic Fallen Kingdom, right after I review this one, the first chapter of the Jurassic World trilogy and the fourth installment of the Jurassic Park franchise. It stars Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard and Vincent D'Onofrio, with film composer Michael Giacchino, with executive producer Steven Spielberg, and it's co-written and directed by Colin Trevorrow, who I never really even heard of, since I know he did movies like Safety Not Guaranteed, which I have not seen. But after this film, I have seen his movie called Book of Henry, which I have seen, which I checked it out from the public library, and it was pretty good, actually. But however, I do like this one more because there's at least more fun factor to it. Well, Book of Henry is a different kind of movie, but I do like Book of Henry, but I like this one a bit more. And I know I have reviewed this movie when it first came out back in 2015, but now I'm going to do a re-review of this movie by going more in-depth with the film, about me liking the film and what parts I don't even like, as well as getting you the backstory, because I don't intend reviewing stuff I found on Wikipedia or IMDb Trivia or whatever, telling you about the information about the film when they come out in theaters. I pretty much talk about it when they're out on DVD and Blu-ray. So, and of course, I'm holding this Target exclusive Blu-ray, which I just bought when it came out in the month of October of 2015, which of course I got myself like a drink, which I have in my closet, still have that cup. And of course, they gave me a popcorn, I think, maybe, which I think it did. And of course, once you open this up, aside from the digital copy code, you do get this, y'all can see. So that's why this is a Target exclusive, so you get a bit more of bonus features of the movie. So I was able to pick this up because I wanted, because I always like to see a bit more features of the film than just the typical standard Blu-ray release. So, because I like to see more about the stuff on how this was all done and everything. So yeah, that's the Jurassic World Target exclusive Blu-ray edition. And of course, I did watch this movie for the first time on Blu-ray, I think back in 2016 or 17, when I finally got to watch this movie, and still love it. And then when Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom was coming out, I had to rewatch it again, and I still love this movie. So rather me rambling on saying I love this movie, I love this movie, I love this movie, here is the backstory on how this film came to be, which 2015 from 2001, it's been like 14 years since we had to wait for a fourth Jurassic Park movie. And I mean 14 years since Jurassic Park 3 came out. Which, I like to add that I have reviewed the other Jurassic Park films, which there will be a link down below in the description, so you can click on, so I have created a playlist of the Jurassic Park films. I have reviewed the first movie, which was a classic. Second one, which has its problems, but I think it's a solid flick. I like number 2. Number 3, a film that I used to like, but it just became bittersweet. It's an okay movie. And then I reviewed this one, and I'm going to add this to my playlist now. This is going to be a bit longer than the one I did back in 2015. And then, of course, I'm going to review Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. But anyway, without further ado, here is the backstory. If you ever bought the second season of Parks and Recreation on DVD, there's like a feature which I have not seen about Chris Pratt, where he reads out a fake text from Steven Spielberg about him being cast in Jurassic Park 4. So that's one news. And the other news is that theme park that you saw in the movie where Jurassic World was being shot, that theme park was being shot in New Orleans, where they found it in a abandoned Six Flags, which was used for like about 2.5 weeks. And of course, we know that theme park has been not used before they used this for the movie, when we have Hurricane Katrina. Yeah, so which is pretty sad because I have been hearing news about Hurricane Katrina, so my heart goes out to them. And yeah, and moving on. The movie itself, as I mentioned, is scored by Michael Giacchino, which is the first time he's ever scored a Jurassic Park film for the first time in his life. Whereas the first two films were John Williams, and then the third one was Don Davis, and now we have Michael Giacchino doing the music, and now he did the music for Jurassic Fallen Kingdom. And one of his first jobs as a composer, he got the score for a video game for the PlayStation, and that would be The Lost World Jurassic Park. And also, before filming began, there was a scene that was not filmed where it would have involved the Indominus Rex, who was a bite off the T-Rex's head, an animatronic head of the T-Rex, but Steven Spielberg objected to it, thinking that it will be an insult to Stan Winston, as if to think they have CGI is better than animatronics, which, for good reason, I'm thankful that Spielberg was able to pick that up on, because while we do love CGI, but there's nothing else could be comparable or as good as practical effects. And of course, yes, the movie came out on June 12, 2015, which it opened to rave reviews by critics. Well, not critically acclaimed. It got pretty good reviews. Not as highly acclaimed as the original Jurassic Park, but it still got good reviews by critics. And of course, it was a huge box office success by making $652.2 million against a $150 budget, and for making $1.6 billion worldwide. And this movie, of course, like Jurassic Park 3, it earns no Oscar nominations. However, it is the first film that gets no Razzie nominations. And before I give you my thoughts on the movie, I'd just like to say it off by saying happy 25th anniversary to the original Jurassic Park, which I know that each time whenever I watch the original film, it will always be a Spielberg classic. So now I got that out of my way, as once again, happy 25th anniversary to the original Jurassic Park. Let's talk about the movie itself. And of course, before I say that, I can't forget about how good is the Blu-ray, which it looks really good, sounds good, and good amount of features. And for the bonus disc, it's really good too. I'm not sure if the Target exclusive Blu-ray is still around. I think that's now officially out of print. I'm not sure if you can find it, but now it's available now once again. But this time in the 4K Blu-ray release. So, but if you can still find it off on eBay or whatever, then hopefully it's out there if you get your hands on this copy. But anyway, watching it again before seeing Jurassic Fallen Kingdom, I still love this movie. I know there's people out there who is not really a fan of the film. That's totally fine with me. We agree to disagree, but I really do love this movie. Even I will admit, even when this film was announced, I wasn't really so sure for a fourth Jurassic Park movie. But until when Jon Favreau got involved and directed the film, he says that they want to honor the first film, which it sounds like a good sign. And then the title itself, I wasn't so sure being called Jurassic World. But as time goes by, I was like, it's not a bad title. I could get my hands behind it. So I actually don't mind the title being called Jurassic World. And then, of course, when I saw the movie, it was really good. Oh, no, that's not right. Before this movie came out, I did see a trailer of the film, which, of course, I have done a trailer reaction with me and my brother Johnson, which we have done a trailer reaction to it, and we both thought it was really good, really good. Sure, yes, I do know that Jon Favreau himself is not really satisfied with the marketing of the movie, which, yeah, I'm not really happy about that, too, when you're giving away stuff, especially for today's movies. They always have to give aways now by ruining the surprises. And there will be the same problem again with Jurassic Fallen Kingdom, which I'll get to. But hopefully in the future, I hope that people will learn to listen on how you market a movie properly and not ruin the surprises. Watch the movie, and you need to figure out how to not give away things without ruining any twist whatsoever. So, and now I'm about the trailer. I saw the movie, and then I loved it. Especially the ending, which I am definitely going to talk about, because right now, this video you're about to see is going to contain spoilers. So, starting off with the good stuff about this film. I thought Michael Giacchino's music is fantastic. It definitely has a bit of that John Williams vibe, just like he did with the movie Super 8. So I saw this definitely one of his best scores, especially I know he did another movie that was good that he scored called Inside Out, which is also another good score. But his score in this one is really good. I love hearing the good old Jurassic Park theme by John Williams. Especially, I love the ending of the music, which makes it all so epic. Especially, I do like the scope of the movie, the way how it's filmed. I love the look at the theme park of Jurassic World, which, as I think I may have said in my review, if not, then oh well. But so I'll put the link down below if you want to see my older review where it does not contain spoilers. But before I know, this is just me reviewing the movie now, but with spoilers. The theme park, when I saw the movie, I actually do want to go there. It actually feels like a place you want to go where it seems a bit more fun, aside from going on roller coaster rides, etc., etc. But only as long as you don't get eaten by dinosaurs. And I thought the characters themselves are really good. Sure, yeah, they're not really fully three-dimensional characters, but they are really likable. And I thought Bryce Howard herself does a really good job for playing this type of character named Claire Deering, who's really good. And of course, I know she dressed up in white, just like John Hammond was in the original Jurassic Park. Yes, I know. I've been hearing many criticisms about this film that she's wearing high heels throughout the majority of the movie. But to me, it didn't bother me. I mean, I have looked up stuff on YouTube that there's people out there that can actually run in high heels. I know not many people do, but there are some. But if you want to look it up, be my guest, because it is possible that some people could run high heels if you're a pro at it. And I thought the character of Owen Grady, played by Chris Pratt, which of course I am a Chris Pratt fan, the biggest fan I meant. He was really good. He's actually really funny. He's really charismatic, especially I know he was successful in Guardians of the Galaxy as well as the sequel, as well as Avengers Infinity War. But he's really good. He's likable. He's a BA, and I do like that he was able to train his raptors, which I do find really something that I don't see in a Jurassic Park film, where you have a trainer who's able to train raptors as much as you're training a dog or a cat or whatever animals you train of. And I thought the kid actors did really good. Ty Simpkins and Nick Robinson, they all did good too. I mean, I know there's one part of the movie which I know it did kind of bug me, where Nick Robinson's character doesn't listen to his little brother when they go into a place we're not supposed to go, until when things start to go wrong with his Dominance Rex makes its escape and starts killing every single one of them. But as I watch it, it's just, how I can put this, it shows that he just has problems though. He's just a rebellious teenager, and he actually does done some dumb things. Especially I know how much he really misses his girlfriend, and both him and his brother know that their parents are about to get a divorce, and just has a hard time dealing with it. Of course, yeah, he does have some fun moments when he's enjoying the theme park himself, but I still don't think he really bothers me. And the little kid, at times, I don't think he really was that annoying. I thought he was good too. I mean, sure, they're not Tim and Lex, but they're really good, and they're fine for what they need to be. And I hope I explained everything about Nick Robinson, but this is how far I can think about his character, so I don't think he was that unlikable. I mean, sure, yeah, he's made an odd choice, which, of course, that's definitely one of the criticisms of the film here, which I don't want to jump right ahead, but doesn't get to me that often. And I do like seeing some of the similarities or familiarities from the first Jurassic Park movie, where they see the original park, the Isla Nublar Park side of the original Visitor Center, which of course this movie takes place at Isla Nublar, as what the original film did, whereas in the sequel they're Isla Sorna. So, but it was nice they were able to return to this island we're all familiar with, and seeing that old theme park again, which even watching that scene for the first time on Blu-ray, I actually did brought tears in my eyes. That just, which I don't know why, for some reason, it just somehow just brings so much love to me, and so much that this movie has, which, if I had to say it, it has some sort of heart to it about how much I really like the first Jurassic Park movie. And I really do get teary out of the scene where this long-necked dinosaur, where Chris Pratt and Bryce Howard witness, where I placed that beautiful music by Michael Giacchino, which that brought me teary-eyed as well. And especially that was all done practical, which I thought was really good. And that's also like another criticism in the movie here, that, which of course I'm giving myself a hit again, as I'm still trying to give away all the good stuff. The effects themselves, by ILM and Legacy Effects, they're really good. I thought the CGI is very well done. They really push the technology further. However, as much as I love the effects of the film, and no, none of the CGI was that bad. They are good. They are really, really good. I love it from beginning, the middle, and end. As far as CGI goes, I kind of wish this film wasn't overblown with CGI, that it wasn't all the way through, because the only thing I know that's practical is the dinosaur that was dying, as well as the raptors being caged with their heads attached to it. Those are the only things I know that's practical, but everything else I know is all out CGI. Excuse me, there. So, I would have liked it if this movie has more practical effects, because in the other Jurassic Park films, they were able to use the mix of CG and practical. Like, 50% of the film is CG and 50% of the film is practical. But the movie itself, I think 10 to 15 or 20% of the film is practical, but everything else, like 80 or 90%, is all out CGI. I'm not sure if that sounds correct, but I just wish there was more to it, is what I'm saying. I wish this film had a bit more practical effects. Again, the CGI is good, I love it. It was nice to see some little practical effects, but you just wish there was more. And I wish there was more practical effects in the film. And I thought the action scenes are really good. I was definitely on the edge of my seat, and the dinosaurs are taking over for the park, and as well as people are running away from it, and definitely quite suspenseful. And of course, yeah, there was one moment of the film which it did kind of irk me a bit at first, but later on I got over it, and that's the part where Claire saves Owen from that weird-looking dinosaur, which is not a pterodactyl, I think, which I can't remember what it is. And then, of course, she saves him, and then, of course, Owen gets up, and they start having a kiss. Which it did irk me at first, but as time goes on, I was able to get over it. And, of course, yes, I have a little issue about Vincent D'Onofrio's characterization, named Hoskins. Which, don't get me wrong, the actor does a really good job, but I just don't think he plays out as a really good villain, because all you ever care about, he just wanted to use these raptors and use them for military offensements. Which I feel like it's definitely gotta be one of the stupidest motivations that the villains have to do. So I was really not a fan of that motivation from him. But of course, he actually does get eaten off by the raptor, which of course he gets what he deserves. But yeah, that's one of my criticisms I'm not really a fan of. So I guess one of my criticisms is there are some odd choices, but they don't bother me as when characters do when you see it in other suspenseful movies or horror movies. And two, Bob Vincent D'Onofrio's motivations is not good. And also, third, good CGI and some nice practical effects, but you wish there was more practical effects. So I only have like 3 inches of the film. But nevertheless, I love the music, I love the characters and the acting as well, and the action scenes. And the story itself, I thought was really good too, and it was really nice. We get to see a park that's actually open, because in the first Jurassic Park movie, the park was never open. Especially that John Hammond was waiting for Dr. Grant his approval until the end when the T-Rex saves our main character in the original. Grant says, after careful considerations, I have decided not to endorse your park, and Hammond accepts his rejection to not have his park open. But here, we actually see the park that really does open. Yes, I understand there are some moments of the film that you're seeing saying you've seen it before from the original Jurassic Park movie, but it doesn't bother me. So I don't think it's really a straight up remake of the film, but I think this movie is still enough to be more of its own thing. And also, of course, I have to say this, I do think it's a much better movie than Jaws 3D, which I'm not really a fan of, which I know... Actually, I know some people could disagree with me on that, but I just think, in my opinion, that this is the better film than Jaws 3. I've not seen the 3D version since I know it's on Blu-ray, but maybe I could get that one a look if that's enough to make it a guilty pleasure, because when I saw the 2D version, it was nutsing, so maybe the 3D could help, I don't know, but that's a whole different topic here, because I'm not talking about Jaws. Even though Jaws is a classic, I love the Spielberg movie, and Jaws 2 is the only sequel I like, but 3 and 4, they suck. So who knows if the 3D version will improve the experience. But anyway, back to Jurassic World, as I was meant to talk about. I also do like the Indominus Rex itself, which I thought is a very interesting looking dinosaur, and I thought the design itself was not that bad. And I do like what it can do, and I like it has some of the DNA traits of the Raptor and the T-Rex and many other dinosaurs, especially that it can camouflage, which I thought that's really something for making a hybrid dinosaur. And of course, you actually do get to see the part where they enter Dr. Wu's office, which of course B.D. Wong returns to reprise his role after he played Dr. Wu in the first Jurassic Park movie, so it's nice to see him come back. And of course, you do get the climax as the raptors were about to eat off our main heroes, especially the one raptor, which I like, named Blue, was going to eat Chris Pratt's character, but couldn't, especially, excuse me once again, Owen's like a father to Blue, especially how much he's been looking out to her. And of course, as soon as when Owen takes the Saint off, which of course that one part in the movie where the Indominus Rex is now their new alpha for the Raptors, it starts to have a little bit of nod to Aliens. And of course, the Indominus Rex shows up at the park, and the Raptors just looked at the Indominus Rex, and Blue turns to Chris Pratt, and they realize that dinosaur is not one of them, so they return back to Chris Pratt's side, and they start taking down the Indominus Rex, but they keep dying from the Rex. And the Indominus tries to chase down our human character, and then the little kid says that, which, this is the part that really gets to me a lot. Even when I see this ending and the music, I started to cry. Even the first time I first saw this movie in the theater, here's how it goes. We need more teeth. Which, of course, gives Bryce Dallas Howard's character an idea. So she calls one of the workers who was standing by monitoring, named Lori, played by Jake Johnson, and she tells him that he needs to open paddock number 9. And he said, "Are you kidding? That's crazy." And she says, "Dadgummit, will you do this once in your lifetime?" And, of course, he says, "Okay." And then he pushes the button. She turns the flare on. Gates open. And then, oh my goodness, the T-Rex shows up. Which the build-up was worth it. The music was getting so epic. And then the T-Rex hearing that dinosaur roaring. Which, of course, is not the same roar as you heard in the original. Because I found out that they were trying to make the dinosaur sound older. Which it makes sense. And I do like the way how the T-Rex looked as she's been through many battles, which of course you can see some scars around her since she got attacked by raptors when Dr. Grant and the others were being surrounded by 2 raptors. And of course, the T-Rex follows the flare, and then of course, Claire throws the flare at the Indominus Rex, and the T-Rex crashes through the bones of the Spinosaurus, which I feel like it was sort of like maybe a jab at Jurassic Park 3, because even though that fight in Jurassic Park 2 was fine, but it didn't go on that long. But this fight scene tops the fight scene in Jurassic Park 3, where 2 dinosaurs fight at each other. And then when the T-Rex roared, at the theater, I was just... And I was laughing and laughing and laughing, and then crying. It really gets to me a lot. It was definitely the most beautiful thing I ever seen in my entire life. That's so epic, so on the edge of your seat. I just can't help but getting myself into that. I really want this T-Rex to win, but the Indominus Rex just keeps taking Rexy down. And then, of course, as you saw that Rexy was going to die, as I was praying that that dinosaur, the T-Rex, should not die. And then you hear the call of the raptor, and then Blue gets up, and you hear that familiar music from the Lost World Jurassic Park, and Blue charges at the Indominus Rex, and then the T-Rex just gets back up, and then 2 dinosaurs join up together to take it down, and then the dinosaur shark just comes out of the water, and then grabs the Indominus Rex, and then drags him down in the bottom of the sea. And it was a bit amusing that the raptor and the T-Rex looked at each other as you saw the T-Rex could eat the raptor, and it's like, "So, are we cool?" And the T-Rex like, "Yeah, we're cool." And of course the T-Rex just walks off, and then Blue just leaves. And of course I'm still crying as the scene goes on, and the music still continues to get beautiful than ever by Michael Giacchino. And then the boys' parents come back to see their sons as they're okay. So who knows if they're still back together, divorced, we don't know, but it could be possible that they're not getting divorced, or maybe they'll just have to live with it as part of reality. And of course, Claire and Owen talk again, asking her about what could they do. And then Owen just says, "I think we just stick together for survival." And they both walk off, and then you get the T-Rex as she makes her last roar, and the beautiful music, the swooping shot of the camera, and then you get the shot of the park as it's now being closed, and the T-Rex roars, and the credits roll, and then I was clapping loud, and I went, "Yeah!" And I do remember in the theater that there were audiences that were laughing at me because of, for me, just how happy or excited I was because I was having a good time at the movies. So yeah, I just really love that ending. The T-Rex and Indominus Rex alongside of Blue, it was awesome. Definitely the best comic I ever seen in the movie. So, yeah, those were my thoughts on Jurassic World, which I like the story itself, enjoy the characters, which are not three-dimensional, but they're likable. I love the music, the action, the direction by Colin Trevorrow, the pacing, good special effects, but could use a bit more practical effects. There are some odd choices. Vincent D'Onofrio does a good job, but his characterization as a villain is weak, as well as his motivations. And nevertheless, enjoy the nostalgia of the first movie, especially how much it tries to honor the first movie. And for what it is, they succeeded for the most part. And Steven Spielberg himself said in an interview say that Jurassic World is like seeing Jurassic Park again, which it is. And so far, the best of the Jurassic Park sequels, where it's not as good as the first movie, but it's about as close as you're going to get. But until when Fallen Kingdom happened, which I'm about to get to, this one used to be my favorite sequel. And it was until Fallen Kingdom, which I'll get to. So this was better than the second movie. You know, I do like The Lost World, and I do think it's better than Jurassic Park 3. So I'm glad they were able to take their time wisely in order to come up with a good story and try to make the best Jurassic Park film they can make, and they did. I love Jurassic World, and I'm happy to own this on Blu-ray. And the movie itself, it still earns an A-. Love this movie. So yeah, that's my review of Jurassic World, and let me know what you think of this video. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know. Feel free to put your comments down below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, take care, and now we move on to the one I've been wanting to talk about, my first impression of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. And that's coming up next. See you later.